Are the Golden State Warriors about to make the most controversial trade decision of the offseason? With fans on the edge of their seats and critics sharpening their knives, the Warriors find themselves at a crossroads that could define their championship aspirations for years to come. The silence before the storm. While other NBA franchises have been wheeling and dealing like it's Black Friday at a basketball supermarket, the Golden State Warriors have been sitting in complete silence. Not a single free agency signing. Not one trade. Nothing. And that deafening quiet is starting to sound like a death knell to Warriors faithful who remember the glory days of championship banners and dynasty dreams. But here's the twist that nobody saw coming. This isn't about being lazy or complacent. The Warriors are trapped in what can only be described as basketball purgatory, all thanks to one name, Jonathan Kuminga. The 22-year-old restricted free agent has become the golden handcuffs that are preventing the Warriors from making any significant moves until they figure out what to do with this young talent. They're essentially playing chess with half their pieces still in the box. Enter the $97 million solution. Now here's where things get spicy. Derek Parker from Brooklyn Nets on SI has proposed a trade that could shake the NBA landscape like a California earthquake. The Warriors would send sharpshooter Buddy Hield and promising young gun Moses Moody to the Brooklyn Nets in exchange for Nic Claxton, a 26-year-old center with a contract that's worth more than some small country's GDP. Claxton isn't just any center. This 6-foot, 11-rim protector has been putting up numbers that would make traditional big men weep with envy. Over the last 3 seasons, he's averaged 11.6 points, 8.9 rebounds, 2.1 assists, and a whopping 2.0 blocks per game, while shooting an efficient 63.3% from the field. Those aren't just statistics. They're the building blocks of championship defense, the price of ambition. But let's talk about the elephant in the room, that $97 million contract. 4 years of financial commitment for a player who, while talented, isn't exactly a household name like Shaq or Hakeem. It's the kind of contract that makes general managers wake up in cold sweats, wondering if they just mortgage their franchise's future for a player who might not deliver when the lights are brightest. However, there's a silver lining that makes this deal more palatable than a bitter medicine. Claxton's salary actually decreases year by year, which means the Warriors wouldn't be stuck with an albatross contract that gets worse with age. It's like buying a car that actually gets cheaper over time, a rare find in today's inflated NBA market. The human cost. Trading away Buddy Hield feels like saying goodbye to an old friend who always had your back. The veteran sharpshooter has been a reliable three-point threat, providing the Warriors with much-needed firepower beyond Stephen Curry's legendary range. In an era where teams are launching more three-pointers than NASA launches rockets, giving up a proven shooter like Hield seems counterintuitive. Moses Moody represents something even more precious. Potential. At just 22 years old, Moody is the kind of young talent that franchises build around for the next decade. He's shown flashes of brilliance that suggest he could become a cornerstone player, making his inclusion in this trade a gamble that could haunt the Warriors for years to come. The championship window reality check. But here's the brutal truth that Warriors management can't ignore. Time isn't on their side. Stephen Curry is 36 years old, Draymond Green is 34, and even with the addition of Jimmy Butler, this core isn't getting any younger. Championship windows don't stay open forever, and the Warriors are staring at theirs as it slowly starts to creak shut. This is why a trade like the Claxton deal makes sense from a win-now perspective. The Warriors aren't building for 2030. They're trying to squeeze every last drop of championship potential out of their aging superstars. Sometimes that means making difficult decisions that prioritize immediate impact over long-term development. The alternative universe. Of course, there are other options floating around the NBA rumor mill. Boston Celtics veteran Al Horford has been mentioned as a potential target, and his championship experience could be invaluable. But Horford is 38 years old, which means the Warriors will be trading you for experience in a league that's getting faster and more athletic every season. The trade market is filled with intriguing possibilities, but most come with their own set of complications. Finding the perfect center who can protect the rim, contribute offensively, and fit within the Warriors' salary cap constraints is like finding a unicorn that can also shoot three-pointers. The verdict. This proposed trade represents everything that's both exciting and terrify about modern NBA roster construction. It's a high-stakes gamble that could either propel the Warriors back to championship contention or leave them wondering what might have been. Claxton brings legitimate defensive presence and athletic ability, but at a cost that includes both financial commitment and the loss of proven contributors. The Warriors find themselves in a position where doing nothing might be worse than making an imperfect move. Sometimes championship teams are built not through perfect decisions, but through bold ones that show a commitment to winning at all costs. What do you think? Should the Warriors pull the trigger on this blockbuster trade? Or would they be better off exploring other options? Drop your thoughts in the comment below, and let's get this debate started. And if you're enjoying this deep dive into Warriors trade scenarios, smash that like button. It really helps us bring you more insider analysis and breaking news coverage.